about half an hour.
Tapestries. Do you have any questions about other art in here? Or anything? That box in the middle of the table, that is a Renaissance gift box from either France or Italy with crystal and lapis, and I can't remember what other stones, but lots of valuable stones put together. And that is just what would hold the gift. Hallmark doesn't make anything like this nowadays. So imagine what kind of gift you put into a gift box like that. But French and Company, an art dealer that Mr. Hearst patronized quite a bit. In fact, that's what he bought. I think he bought the tapestries from French and Company. But in any case, he spent a lot of money at French and Company, and they gave him this as a gift. Now when Mr. Hearst, just before they were going to pour the foundation for this room in 1922, Mr. Hearst looked at the designs and he told Miss Morgan that he had an issue here. He said he didn't think the tapestries had enough room. He asked her if she could extend the room by 10 feet so they wouldn't be covering over this door that leads to his dining room. She was able to change the plans at the last minute, extend the room by 8 feet, so when we enter Mr. Hearst's dining room, we won't be going underneath the tapestry. We'll be going under a 17th century Spanish painting instead. But let's go check out the dining room. Choir stalls, but you weren't expected to sit on those. You could sit on something more comfortable. I don't know if you noticed that those were around the other room as well. The ones in the assembly room are from Italy. They date from the 15th to 16th century. These are Spanish, and they came from a church in San Simeon in the Spanish Pyrenees. 15th century, carved with the Gothic pointed arches above. That little tiny seat, that's a misericord or mercy seat. So these could be flipped down, but sometimes the choir wasn't allowed to sit down, and if they had a long service, these would be flipped up and they'd have something they could at least lean against mercifully so they weren't going to pass out. And most of the choir stalls had to be modified. Mr. Hearst had, Julia Morgan, I should say, had a craftsman named Jules Supo from Switzerland who did a lot of the woodwork with his shop in San Francisco. He did the animals carved out of teak that were on the front of the house. He modified the choir stalls to fit into the rooms. Sometimes they'd have to duplicate them. And he did a lot of the bookcases and other woodwork. And they duplicate doors. If Mr. Hearst had one door, they needed 6. They'd make the matching ones to look like the antique doors. All of this so that Mr. Hearst could have what he wanted, which was to look like he was living in a 400- or 500-year-old house, like those places he'd seen traveling around in Europe. This has a rather formal style with the Gothic arches that are also repeated in the stone mantle. It's a composite, but some of it is French stone. And also the musician's loft. Those are authentic 15th century French window frames from a town called Marcillac. There's an Augustinian monastery there that was being dismantled. Mr. Hearst bought those in Paris. He has enough for one wall.